Alrighty then. Let's do this. Whatever this ends up being.
Sound like a game show host for a second.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then, welcome back.
Gotta be careful, I don't want to step on John's toes. He is our local announcer, after all.
Johnny on the street.
So, last time, I guess all we did was fight Gruthlak.
And nothing of note happened, really,
Nothing
to be
at
honest,
all.
last session.
Yeah, no, you guys, after the grueling fight towards his chamber, you guys encountered the big bad himself, which, assumptions aside, turned out to be an aboleth of sorts. And, well, I'd say the first half of the fight went fairly well. Only a few of you went down. It was all good. Gruthlak was getting his dick cut off rather
He really was.
rather quaintly. He could not mind control you guys to save his life, and considering that's what it takes to save his life, wasn't going too hot. And so he ran away, summoned up some friends, and that is when things went downhill rather quickly. I think who did we lose? We lose Lashil, and we lost Erde.
Yeah.
But
Now
luckily,
no one stands in the way of my water enterprise.
Well, technically, you died too. We realized after the game finished.
yeah, there was a lot of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely should have died.
What, did I miss taking off hit points or something?
No, you
No,
had
no,
that
you
disease,
were
and
diseased.
just
Ah.
you getting pulled out of the water meant death, like almost instantly. But it's okay.
I thought we didn't wait.
It lasts
For
for
the-
4 days, so no, you definitely did not
I
wait.
thought it was
inside here that
hours.
long.
I thought it was like 1d4 hours.
No, days. And
Even if it was hours,
no,
there's no.
even if it was, you
There's
still
no
avoid because he
way.
pulled you out straight away, and it takes an effect immediately. Your skin melted off, and you
Oh,
died.
geez, yeah, before that it's 1d4 hours for the mucus cloud that makes it so you can only breathe underwater. But if he actually poisons you with his tentacle, it's unlimited.
Which is the one? Oh, it's the unlimited one. Oh yeah, that's right. Forever and ever.
Forever and ever, yeah.
You need to get cleansed.
But that's okay. We're not gonna retcon it because there's all kinds of cheating that game, anyways. So it's no big deal. But yes, I think everyone was unconscious though. Unfortunately, as a hobble lunged off the side of that wall and poked Gruthlak in his fucking eye with his staff, killing the Elder God with no one there to see. Some might say it didn't even actually happen. I'm inclined to be one of those people.
Listen, man. I'll attack this. Or what's his name? Our little guy.
So,
Quit.
So he was down too. That's
He
right.
was, he was down, yep. Everyone was down.
Listen.
And there's no video evidence. I definitely didn't save that. So, sorry, mate. Just didn't happen.
Are you retconning this as a dream sequence or some shit?
I have done that in games before, but no, I'm not doing that.
We'll wake up in Kingsport. We haven't left yet.
We're in the bar, just had a fucked up night and drank our asses off.
maybe we shouldn't go down a Dre's ass, actually. That's a bad idea. I had a really bad dream about that.
Right?
You
And pretty much everybody died.
I mean, really, it's
Let's go
this,
north instead.
this is actually just one of Alarcon's stories that he's yelling at all the patrons in the bar. It's completely fabricated and made up, but he's telling it nonetheless.
Wait, am I real? Or am I just part of the story?
Am I even real?
I don't. Am I double not real because I'm a made up character that is also made up by Alarcon? I
don't know if anyone wants to be made up of the stuff of Alarcon.
I'd be made of gold though.
I don't know if you would. Just lots of fat and flesh. So, Yeah, that is effectively where we left off. Hobble delivered the killing blow to Grutalak. Managed to pull your bodies out of the water. Unfortunately, Air to Death and the Shield never came to. Thaddeus and Oquixo did, however. You guys kind of, I believe, like jerry-rigged the bodies using the rope and got them up on the ledge, the rocky cavern.
So they got up on the top, and that's where they stopped. They were resting up there, I think.
Yep. So that is where we are. Hobble and Thaddeus and Oquixo are the only 3 alive.
All right. So did we take a short rest or a long rest?
I don't know if you guys took any rest so far. We kind of just stopped as you got the
Oh,
bodies
okay.
up top.
Gotcha. Hobble, I could use a rest. I don't know about you.
We're outside of the temple now, right?
No, you're still inside the caverns.
We're at the top
Actually,
of
you
the
know what? No, I
ledge, basically.
take that back. You guys left the bodies there, but you guys did leave the temple. We ended with you guys stepping back out into the forest.
Never mind.
Because I do remember describing the lack of creatures as you continued through the corridors. So.
Is there anyone around?
You step out
Yeah, I want
as you
to survey.
first time, like you didn't really realize it while you were down there, but just the muskiness of the air and everything. But as you come out, it's fresh. You almost see things more clearly now as you look around.
The rain is gone?
Yeah, the rain is gone.
Okay.
As you look around, there's nothing. You see the white expanse of trees, the other various ziggurats protruding from the canopy of grass and leaves. But no signs of life. You can, at most, begin to hear the very subtle chirping of birds, insects kind of ruffling in the grass. But nothing of Kukulkan, nothing of any other lizardkin or Grutalak's minions, just sort of serene, peaceful nature.
Hobble, I need to rest before we go anywhere.
We should get back and tell Crackercon what happened. He's waiting for us.
Yeah, how far is he again? Where was he at?
This is Mikado, but Apixo, do you know how long it'll take us to get there?
Kotiala me katolit. Maybe 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I could walk for an hour, and I have, like very little of my life left.
Okay, you're right. We can still hear and rest. Do I need a spell slot to ritual cast something, or no?
No.
If you give me an hour, I can put up protection for all of us. It'll keep us safe while we sleep.
Okay. I mean, do you want to sleep here, or do you just want to take a quick rest? I'm fine with either.
Oh, if you're fine with a quick rest, then.
Yeah, I mean, I won't have any spells until I sleep, but just to get my health back, a short rest would be all right.
Okay, let's do that then. We'll go when you're ready.
Prayer or healing's not a ritual, is it? How do you tell on this character sheet?
It's got a
Does it
ritual
say
tag on
ritual?
it.
So it'll say it in the description somewhere, ritual.
It'll say it in the component bit. The meta information.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, all right, never mind.
But absolutely not prayer of healing is definitely not a ritual. That'd be outrageous.
There is one that's a ritual, right? One type of healing spell.
No.
I thought I saw it. Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm gonna roll some hit dice.
you guys rest for the hour. Passes by.
Yeah.
Solid fucking roll. Holy shit.
Hell yeah. I'll
Um,
take it.
Yeah. Passes by without any incident. It stays the same, sort of peaceful, quiet the entirety of the time.
I'll give him problem. It's because I have so.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem. All right. I guess I'm ready to hike back if you are. It would have been nice if they had maybe sent some mounts after us or something. Pretty much left us for dead here, but yeah, let's head back.
They did send us with plenty of mounts. I don't know if I would bring that up when we get there.
Well, obviously, they
Use
should have
their
known.
mounts as bait.
Yeah, they should have, anticipated that.
You'll just let me do the talking when we get there.
All right.
Okay, so do you know the way back?
He gives you a nod and just immediately takes off.
I'll run after him, I guess. He's faster than I am.
Yeah, he's not running per se, just moving at a quick pace. You have no problem keeping up with him. So, yeah, he kind of leads you back out the same path that you took getting in here. You inevitably move past the sort of the center of this large complex of ziggurats, out the main road, and you fairly quickly come to the large natural breeding pools that you've really just went through the day prior. As you move through them, you can see that slowly but surely the corruption seems to be dissipating. Almost as soon as you enter the swamp, you can see some of the pools are... The blackness that overtakes them is kind of trickling away. None of them have really fully been undone yet, but you can see just the beginnings of it. Nevertheless, as you look out, you can see, especially further in, there's still the remnants of these creatures, the same ones that you fought when you first entered this swamp. Quixo kind of diverts the path as far away from those as possible. You see them lurking, wandering
They're
about.
still alive.
They are still alive. It's a huge area of breeding pool. There's still quite a few creatures that you see. They're quite numerous, but they seem to be almost wandering aimlessly at this point. It's pretty easy to keep your distance and move past. It takes a large portion of the day to move past this, especially since you don't have the mounts now, as you're moving much more carefully to try and avoid these combats, these creatures. It takes a majority of the day's time, but you make your way out onto the other side. Come to an area fairly similar to where you rested before, when the Goliath Saurian thing awoke you. Set up camp again. At this point, it's quite late. It's dark. There's no light basking through the tree canopy at all. You guys started this pretty late in the day, actually. You didn't long rest. You only took a short rest, so. You get your.
What'd you just say there about rest?
Well, you guys only took a short rest, so.
Right.
You were traveling on the same day, so at this point it is quite late.
Gotcha.
But you stop. Quixo kind of scouts out a good area for setting up camp. Pulls you all into it.
Go. I take first watch.
I'll take second. And I'm going to actually not go to sleep just yet. I'm going to just kind of pray for our fallen comrades before I head in.
Okay. So as you do that, Quixo kind of sets up this very, very makeshift camp. Not, you guys don't really have anything about you anymore, so there's not much. But he takes first watch. Thad, you take second. Hobble, you presumably take third.
Yep.
Nobody really has the fourth watch, unfortunately. But
I mean, can't we just split it into roughly 3?
you can only be awake for 2 hours out of a long rest.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you don't get it.
Okay. Gotcha.
But the night passes without incident. You're perhaps a little bit more on alert, especially for this Goliath Saurian, but you hear, at best, this very, very distant echoing roar. It comes just sort of periodically throughout the night. Nothing that ever seems to get closer. And all's fine. Guys, get your long rest. You wake up the following morning.
Draka, it'll only be a day from here. Hopefully they have succeeded.
1 day?
Gives you a nod.
Okay. Let's end the...
Question.
And you do. You travel throughout the day. Fortunately, this party's never had a ranger. So yeah, you're definitely moving quite slow, especially without the mounts. Just cutting your way through this dense jungle thicket takes quite a while. As much as Quix was able to kind of skirt his way in and out pretty quickly, at this point you kind of struggle to keep up as you're forced to just deal with rather rough terrain. I need both of you to give me a Constitution save. Okay, so you travel for the full 8 hours of the day. You still haven't reached. Drawing a blank, McConnell. That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one. Don't have my notebook. I left it in my truck. Yeah, you travel for the full 8 hours of the day. You're what you would normally spend traveling, anyways. At that point, the exhaustion sort of starts to set in, but Quixo urges,
Draka, we're close. Must go.
immediately kind
Was that roll for us to go like another hour, or
That
was
is
that
for
roll
another hour,
to get
yeah.
us? Okay, well, yeah, let's push on then.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I'm fine with that.
As much as you're exhausted, you find the energy reserves. Draw deep
We're so close.
of that water that only the two of you have. The Enterprise.
Might have a shot left, actually.
You might have. I don't know if you guys.
Don't
Did you guys drink all of it? I don't know.
It says I have 1 use left,
Well, there you go.
or
Yeah,
or 1 water skin. I'm not sure.
probably one use.
Yeah.
So you push on for the next hour, and as it's coming to a close, as you're moving your way through the dense jungle thicket, you can see just barely in the distance as nightfall is beginning to take hold, as the sunlight is withdrawing from the forest. You can see. Give me a perception test, both of you. That's a good perception.
You got it.
Hobble doesn't see much. Hobble, you see these faint
Back of
lights.
his eyelid.
I mean, they're unmistakable. You see faint lights in the distance, a short while ahead above. Why is that starting? Clearly breaking in between the trees. But where you kind of take this to just be torches and things of that nature, Thaddeus, you, after moving just a few steps closer, kind of quickly realize that there are some like billowing plumes of dark smoke rising up as well. You can barely see them between the trees, but looking up, kind of getting to an area where there's a break in the canopy, you can definitely see up ahead where the smoke is rising up into the
So
night
this
sky.
doesn't look like just like a large campfire. I mean, we're talking like
It's not,
buildings
that-
or
it's not
trees or
partic-
something.
Yes and no. Both. I mean, you see, both of you, I mean, you can see these small lights, larger lights, clearly different sized fires. Most of these plumes of smoke are pretty thinned out. They're not heavy at all. They're definitely dark, but
The village, I think it's on fire.
Is that
I
what
just
it looks
started
like to me? Does it
running
look
off.
like- I mean, I'll follow him, but does it look like uncontrolled fire or like campfires?
you're not sure.
I'm thinking
that five, but you just see the light.
I'm guessing based on my perception, and I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that it's like a fire that's burned down, and that's why it's like some smaller fires, and the smoke's real dark because it's just like that, kind of like smoldering fires around. But I don't know.
I mean, I'm
If
gonna
that's-
run after you, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the way we're headed, and there's a large fire, like, fuck, we need to get there.
Yeah, I'm running after you. I don't see anything, but I trust you.
Okay, so you both take off immediately. Quixo's, you kind of cut off guard, and he follows behind, and he very quickly begins to outpace you. Just darts past, kind of moving easily through the foliage. As you get
Old
closer
Quixo.
and closer, Hobble, you begin to see the same thing as Thaddeus, as the density of the jungle thicket begins to break apart. You can see more of these flames. You can see the plumes of smoke rising up. And you begin to see a large quantity of various figures. The silhouette of clearly lizardkin. All just moving about. Too soon to be Macaudal. You don't hear the clashing of battle though. You don't hear any shouting or anything really.
What's see that yet?
Sorry, you cut out there. What was that?
What is on fire? Do we see?
You have no
Or
sight
no?
of it yet. You can just you see the flames. You see this shifting of movement, but
Okay.
at this point, I mean, it's pretty dark out. It's hard to make out what exactly is on fire.
I want to motion to a Quixo and ask him, well, do you have any idea what's going on down there? Do you know what that is?
He's kind of up ahead. You have to catch up to him, but he's like knelt down, just like almost scouting out the area. As you approach and ask him, he turns around and
Brogania. No, but the fat, there's no doubt. Graka. Could be bad. Brokala.
Do you think we should just go straight in, or
No.
can we scout around?
Yeah, I think we need to be cautious. We don't know who these people are. Maybe sneak up a little closer, try to get a peek. Actually, can you send your bird out to take a look?
What bird?
that,
You don't have a bird anymore?
that bird
Never
went
had a bird.
splat. Actually, I think the
Oh.
bird got just sucked into the water. And
Yeah, it got hit by a tentacle,
And then
I
smooshed.
resummoned it because I'm good at this game.
don't know that
Wait,
he
wasn't
would've-
that yesterday though? Because we long rested, so can't you call them again or whatever?
Okay. No, and
You can summon him immediately. It just takes him an hour and 10 minutes, so you haven't had time. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna retcon it.
No. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, when the bird dies, he dies, unlike Thaddeus.
I'm not going to retcon myself being good at the game.
Then I'm for slowly creeping forward, trying to see what the hell's going on. Standing there.
I can turn some of us invisible if it would help with the scouting, but I can't do it to all three.
Quitzo's the fastest, and he would know better than us what he's looking at.
Quitzo, does that sound good to you?
I can use the tree.
And he kind of just quickly jumps up, grabs hold of the bark, and skitters his way up. And you guys quickly lose sight of him, so I mean, you're quite aware of the Skinx's ability to blend in.
Alright, I guess we're just hanging out for him.
Just on fire, yo.
Right. We'll just talk about how shit's on fire, man.
What's going on with you?
Same as you, really, killing evil gods, drinking delicious water, doing my thing.
Let's be real, are we bummed that Air Death is dead? I'm not.
Why'd he say that?
Fuck that guy.
Christ, man, what'd he do to you?
I don't say that. Phil.
You can retcon being a... You can't retcon being a good player, but you can retcon your shitty attitude about Air Death.
Being a bad player? Wait, isn't that the same thing?
He's not
Just
around.
broke your
He's
own
like
rule,
near
man.
me.
I don't know, man. What do you think is going on up there, if you had to guess?
I don't know. They don't look like... I mean, well, are they just walking around like they're on patrol, or they're just going about their business, or are they in some sort of trance?
Give me another
Does it
perception.
look natural?
So as you kind of sit there and take it all in while you're waiting for a quick you see a number of things. There's definitely will look to be patrols, things kind of just skirting along the outset of the village. You also see just appear to be large crowds, just gatherings of these lizardkin all in one area that don't seem to shift or move. It kind of blocks your view of whatever it is that's on fire. You can see them kind of, their movement swaying, and it's a bit shuffled, but it doesn't look like anyone's particularly just wandering around of these big crowds.
The ones that look like they're on patrol, do any of them look like they might be like the large mutated creatures that we encounter?
Mutated, you're not sure, but you definitely see some of larger size, like you fought in that kind of river caravan.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we just need to wait then.
Just need to wait.
How about this? Maybe this is the better question. If shit's going down over there, more shit, is it time for us to just roll the fuck out? Or what? Because I think we've done enough. At some point, the lizard people got to do for themselves. And if there's another battle over there, I'm just tired of it, man. It's like never ending with these fucking lizardkin.
If we can help Cracker-Con, if he's even still alive, I think it would be a disservice to Lachelle and Air Death's sacrifice not to try. If he's dead, if the situation is hopeless, then we should at least get information to take back to Kingsport, because that's where the Lizardkin will go next. But if there's a chance of helping Cracker-Con, then I'm going to take it.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if shit's looking like, if the whole village is taken over, I don't think me and you can really do much about that.
Yeah,
Cracker-Con there or not, I don't think the three of us can really, unless there's some guards bound up or something, maybe we can release, but I don't know. I guess let's wait and see what info he brings back and go from there.
We can decide from there, yeah.
And as you say that, you hear this ruffling in the trees as a Quixo drops down, like, directly in front of you.
Fuck!
superhero landing.
I
and
firebolt
all.
it. Startled. No, I don't.
Don't startle the wizard.
Takes him a second to catch his breath, but he doesn't look on guard or anything. In fact, he looks almost content.
It is good. We go. Drokalaka.
Good. All right. Crack-a-lacka, let's go.
Can I insight check him real quick? Do I think he's telling the truth?
Go ahead and insight.
Why would he lie to it?
I should start rolling d20s even when they're telling the truth, just to throw you off.
Just to fuck
I mean,
people.
it's not a bad plan.
That way you never know.
Remember that one guy that we all thought it was a really good idea to listen to him, and then he was the ghoul?
Right, yeah. Then he was an undead, murdering priest or whatever.
Hey, he was a swell guy. Yeah, as far as you can tell, Oquixo is he's being truthful.
Alright, yeah, I'll follow him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going.
So, he takes the lead. He's not running at all. In fact, he just sort of walks the rest of the way at this point. You guys aren't too terribly far out. And as you get closer, as you're really only a few hundred feet away, you see the patrols and whatnot, and Oquixo sort of calls out to them. They immediately stop, swing around with weapons up. But after a few exchange of words, they kind of part and let you pass. As you enter in, you see the multitude of these just giant orange red flames billowing up, the smoke cascading from them, and you very quickly realize that these gathering crowds of lizardkin have just gathered around these same sort of funeral pyres that you saw in Nahuat after that small incursion.
We cannot hear you, Al.
I don't think we've heard you say anything all night.
No. I was like, man, she's been quiet.
I mean, really, we're just ignoring you.
Yeah.
And that's fact.
You're talking, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi.
I mean, no.
Hello.
I was like, wow, no one wants to talk to me today.
I mean, you're dead,
Dead here.
so we don't. Get out of here.
Yeah, you can't talk anyway. You're dead.
Just kidding. So, as you draw closer, you very clearly make out that it is, in fact, these same sort of large funeral pyres that are built up multiple across the what looks to be far larger of a settlement. This is almost a town. Very different from anything else you've seen of the lizardkin. It dwarfs even. Actually, yeah, Nahuat. I mixed them up earlier. Dwarfs Nahuat.
We're in Mikado. No, we're not in Mikado.
You are in Mikado.
That's just said it was too early for Mikado.
Yeah, you guys traveled the extra hour or whatever. You pushed on.
Okay.
Persevere.
Yeah, no, this is definitely Mikado. And almost immediately, it kind of sets in as you see these funeral pyres and enter the what is essentially like the inner sanctum of the encampment, lit up by these flames. You see a vast majority of these buildings all kind of crumbled in ruins. The wood smoldering and burning, sending these thinner shafts of smoke up into the sky, but mostly put out. And you can see the large stacks of bodies put up atop these pyres.
I'll just kind of hang my head and, take in the gravity of the situation, amount of life that was lost because of it.
Yeah, and just sort of hang my head.
Pour out a little bit of the delicious water for the homies. No, I do not. I do not do that. Retcon.
All the retconning happening today.
Yes, every retcon I could ever use, I'm pulling it right now.
After a few moments, I'm going to look over it a quick silence. So, did you find Parker? Huh?
He's kind of lost in the moment and doesn't acknowledge you for a few seconds, and then kind of snaps out of it as he looks up to you, or not up, looks to you, because you're about the same height, and just shakes his head.
No. I came back as soon as I saw that Dracala. It was okay.
He kind of just immediately starts looking around. You sort of lose him in the crowd.
I'm going to wander off from the fire a bit. I want to find someone to ask that doesn't look like they're, looks like they're on patrol or whatever, not involved with the burning.
Okay, so you, it doesn't take you long to find someone who's on patrol. You kind of just head towards the sort of outskirts of this whole activity, and one of them kind of, there's a lot of weird looks coming your way, as, yeah, you're a fucking gnome and a human just wandering through this lizardkin encampment. There's a vast quantity of lizardkin who, like, have arms on their weapons as you walk by. Then you kind of see them turning and talking to others. They suddenly, like, turn their attention away, but they do still have their hands on their weapons. But you do come up to a patrol who similarly just turns around, has a hand on spear. You can see it clutched tightly, but it doesn't immediately move to attack.
Grolakan.
Crockercon. Where is Crockercon?
Kind of, his face contorts, furls into a bit of confusion for a moment. Kind of almost taken aback, and then nods in the direction of this large building at the far end of this village. Doesn't say anything though.
Are you with me, Thaddeus?
I wasn't with you, but I'm not sure how far you walked off there.
Probably not far.
I mean, if you can see me, you can ship me.
I'm just going to come back and get you. I didn't know if you wandered off.
Use an exercise. What kind of wizard are you? It's like pretty bad for a wizard there, buddy. No, it's fine. Yeah, I'll follow Hobble.
Okay, so you both head off towards this this large building, and as you approach it, I mean, most of the buildings here are pretty small, similar kind of small dwellings to the other villages you've been to. Quite a few of them have been built up. You can see these just large pallets of stone and wood where they seem to have been transporting stuff taken from the other villages, like the caravan you stopped. With them, you can see that many of the buildings are kind of built up in stone. It's much more defensible. I mean, it looks like it was preparing for war, from what you can see. Of course, now it's wrought with devastation, but nevertheless, you make your way towards this large structure, and you can almost immediately make out as you pass through the crowd that it is in itself a sort of temple, not unlike the one in Nahuatl. The coloring of the stone is a bit different, although it's hard to tell if that's simply because of the firelight casting this orange glow across it, or if it is actually this sort of dull reddish stone, but you're inclined to think that it's somewhere in between the two. As you approach, there's a large number of guards. Some of these much fancier adorned temple guard, in fact, all standing just outside the doors. You see at least a half dozen of them, and they all immediately just step in front of the door. Gronka!
Krokrakan? Hobble, you can talk to him, right?
I'm gonna cast tongues on myself. Oh, I don't have it. Never mind. I'll tell them, we're here for Krokrakan. Throkan is dead. Ruthalak too.
You,
That's the big
you're not sure that they entirely understand you, but when you say Krokrakan, they give each other a glance, turn back to you. As you say Throkan and then Gruthalak, they both give each other these very long, kind of shared looks.
No. Gruthalak.
Give me a performance.
Okay. It's gonna be horrible.
How well do you convey this? I was hoping you'd roll a 1 and be like, Gruthalak's coming for you, bitch!
Right.
That'd be great. No, it's fairly decent, though. I mean, you can see their hands tighten around the shafts of their halberds, but as you mention it again and kind of do your little thing, the two, they don't necessarily lessen their grip, but they kind of call out to one of them, and one of the 6 just disappears into the back room, or into the temple. A few moments pass, and he returns alone, falls back in line with the rest, and they all kind of just stare intently on you, but don't say anything. It's probably incredibly awkward.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
A little unnerving. You left there
kinda
for...
Go ahead, sir.
You're left there for another minute or two when you hear this doof, 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 what clearly sounds like wood hitting against stone, when you see the outline of a staff emerge out of the entrance into the firelight. In the form
It was a staff. I thought a fucking giant dinosaur thing was coming or something.
No, it's not that big. It just kind of echoes throughout the chamber.
Okay.
And out into the open when you see Krokrakan hunched over, bloodied, beaten, using the staff more so than ever to carry himself aloft. And he makes his way out into the open. Trokanyala, you've returned.
Some of us.
His look kind of drifts to the ground. Tralakanyoro. He doesn't repeat it in common, you're not sure what he says, but...
I think I get the gist.
We're successful in defeating Throkan, Gruthalak, but Erdak and the Shield didn't make it. I hope you remember them.
He looks up from the ground, takes a heavy breath. Then Trokalan, it is over. For now.
If you face another threat like this, it won't be from Gruthalak. I'm not sure of that. I'm gonna hold out Yektu's staff.
You see his eyes kind of widen, and he doesn't take a step back, but he definitely kind of leans back and almost rises up a little bit from his hunched stature.
Trokala Tronyera Nyektu.
We found it in Gruthalek's temple. That's how Throkan got in. How he opened the barrier. Made it inside.
Drakanya. Yes, it belongs here in Mekato, or Gronyala. It once did.
Kind of. I think Thaddeus, you took it. Then his
To try to.
yeah, his vision kind of sweeps to your backside. It's fairly unmistakable as it protrudes out, and
Yeah, I mean, I would have been like kind of reaching for it anyway. I just didn't want to interrupt their conversation. But yeah, I'm going to offer that back to him as well. You know, for just to return it to his people.
Modak Stradent Troka. Two, then Trokan wielded.
Yes.
Yet still, Gronyala, you emerge. Victorious, Troka, even amidst the loss.
Okwitsu was a great help. He should be, you know, looked upon favorably with your people. Without him, I don't think even us would have made it.
he did do work.
He had like 8 potions in his bag.
He just got a bandolier of
like
potions.
4 times.
I think it was 4. I think he used 2 and then he gave 2.
Come, Traka.
And he turns around, makes his way into the temple. The temple guard immediately part for the two of you.
I'll follow.
Yep.
As you make your way inside, you can most definitely see now that the stone of this temple has got this red hue to it. It's quite different from the very faint blue of Krokrokan's temple, Temple of Trukolkin, where he makes his way further and further inside. And you can see where at one point this used to be a temple to one of the winged serpents. It looks as though much of it has been almost just refurnished in recent times. You can see statues that have been toppled over, new statues currently being carved and erected. There's some of the offshoot chambers turned into armories of sorts, and at the far end, where there was no doubt some sort of large font, there's now a throne that sits there. Krokrokan makes his way up to it, but doesn't ascend the stairs. Kind of just stops short.
Drakanya, Drokan. Did you see, Gronyala, what became of him?
He was himself in the end.
His last words to us were to stop recalling. In the end, his mind was his own.
Not all, Gronya, at loss then. Yet, still, Gro,
And he looks up to the throne.
a devastating loss.
Yes, I saw many people outside of your people that didn't make it. I'm sorry for your loss.
Some, Gronya, under the influence of Grutalak. some simply Kronya believers in Drokan's cause. Kronya, all brothers deserving of more.
How fared your battle here? You still stand. So clearly you won.
Kron, yes. Yes. With heavy loss. But we win. Perhaps now, Kronya, things may return in time. It will take time.
Maybe there's a chance for peace between our races now that Throkon is not, rallying everyone to kill everybody in Kingsport.
He just nods and slowly turns around so that he's facing the two of you again.
Kra, yes. Peace. Peace in our time.
Hashtag. Beat you to a hobble, bitch. Different movie. Still counts.
You guys missed my fucking reference earlier.
I didn't catch a reference. What'd I miss?
What did I say? It was, Air Death and LaShield died. I hope you remember them. I know.
Yeah, but that was like, it was so totally out of
quote.
context with the way. Yeah, but it's not at all the context of how he says it.
All right.
It's like, I'm gonna kill you. I hope they remember that I killed you. you fought for them.
Truth isn't something one considers when fighting an elder god. That does put hope in my heart.
Crocrocon croaks immediately.
He's dead.
All right, let's retcon everything. So, you guys exit out of the ziggurat. It's serene and peaceful. That there's a freshness to the air.
Prana, come to bargain.
Oh, that is just terrible. Please don't do that.
Just imagining it rewinding every time we retcon it.
All right, what are we doing? So, yes, Crocrocon turns around and he begins to slowly make his way back towards you.
There is no way, Drakalan, to thank you for what you have done.
Stop it. You're embarrassing me in front of the wizard.
Did you actually?
Now that's how you drop an Infinity War quote. All right, you
really
use it
good.
correctly.
It was really good.
Did you see it?
Thank you. No, I just looked up some quotes to fuck with y'all.
I was like, damn. I've been trying not to say too much. Anyways, quotes aside.
I do not know how to
There's no
repay.
need for thanks. What we did will benefit both of our races more than certainly we knew, but I think you suspected as well.
It's for the betterment of all of Felheim.
Kron, and what of your allies?
They remain at the temple.
We would like, with your permission, to take some of your men to retrieve their bodies. We don't expect any sort of magic at this point. It would be nice, but
No,
all we want
time has passed.
to give them a proper burial.
Kron, and the pools. Have you seen the pools?
When we left, they were clearing, detoxifying on their own, but the creatures that inhabited them did seem disoriented, but they were not dead. We managed to avoid them. They didn't chase us, but a larger force might have more trouble.
Nra. Two birds, as your people say. One stone. We send A great deal, then.
Literally never heard that in my life. But okay.
Not in that order, anyway.
I don't know
What are you saying, Crocodile Khan?
I think we're not all alike, okay? Maybe that's L.
Ra, we will retrieve your allies, Erdeth, and the shield. And we will send a force to clear out the pools, so that we may once more, Granyalha, return to the proper cycle.
Yeah. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
You're true, isn't it?
Getting outrageous.
And the weapons that you carry.
You said that belong to the temple. I'm willing to leave the staff with you. It is of your people. It should stay here.
He actually holds up a hand to kind of stop you.
They were, Granya, once a part of my people. Now, Granya, with any luck, we will not need them again. Perhaps, though, Granyala, with them, we may, as you say, find peace. Take them, Granya, and tell your people.
Okay, we will.
We will spread the word. I'm not sure if our people will listen right now, but when they're ready to, we will find you.
Your allies, then.
And he kind of begins to shuffle his way past you. He heads back outside. He says something in his language to the temple guard. One of them immediately heads off and heads back inside, or just turns around as you're right behind him.
When you're ready, Dranya, tomorrow, we will go.
Okay.
Yes. All right. We appreciate it.
There's anything we can do to help you tonight with any of the pyres or any repairs that need to be made. We're happy to do so.
He shakes his head.
No. This, Granya, a night to remember. Not to work. In time.
I could use something to eat. If you're offering.
He nods and says something to one of the other temple guard, who immediately falls out of line. Krako Khan kind of just holds out a hand towards him.
Ra, he will show you. Food.
Okay.
A place to rest.
Thank you, Cropican.
Yeah.
And
I'll walk off and follow the guy.
yep, and he leads you off to an area where there's basically food stores and big supermarkets, and get you what you need.
Nice.
Takes you, yeah. I'm telling you, man,
I have-
McConnell is booming. It's not just a village.
I happen to have a club card, so that works out very well.
I would love to know how you got a club card for
You gotta know people.
the super.
Alicon.
The
I got it from
supermarket.
Alicon, man.
He had a club card for the supermarket.
It was in his bag of holding.
It wouldn't surprise me that he would have a club card
Right,
for the
you know.
McConnell market, McConnell Plus, or something.
Whatever you need, go to Alicon.
As I'm walking along with Thaddeus and the Lisbon kid, I'm going to look over at Thaddeus and say, "Have you ever had shawarma?" There's a shawarma joint about 2 blocks from here.
No, what is the shawarma you speak of?
Hold on, let me open up the. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it.
Man, I can't wait till today's over. So, you guys get your food. You rest up, another long rest for what it's worth. And you arise the next morning as the early morning light basks into the area. You see most of the fires are out now. Many of the lizardkin are still asleep, some up and about, the patrols going as well. With the daylight now, you can see like the full expanse of McConnell, and it's quite large. I mean, there's no doubt this was housing an army. But as you wake, you two are left to your own devices.
Man, actually, I think in the middle of the night, Thaddeus is gonna kind of just disappear. And he's gonna leave a note for Hobble that says, it was good traveling with you. Thanks for your help along the way. But there's something that I've left unsettled for too long, and I must go. Hopefully I'll see you again someday.
Okay, so
Okay.
you
Bye.
awake to find this. It's probably tucked under your pillow. You have no doubt that he watched you sleep for a long while. Something to fill the
I
void
did.
now that Lashiel's gone.
Just something to remember him by, you know. It's my thing.
You notice there's some grass kind of like spread out along your arms and legs. He definitely tried to make you look furry.
Awkwardly detailed drawing on the bottom of the note as well. It's
Fucking whiskers.
Yeah, the long leaves of grass just
It took me like 3 hours to do the shading on your upper lip.
At any rate, you do wake to find his note, and no sign of him.
I was just gonna nod. I'll fold the note back up and tuck it in my bag. And I'm gonna go find Cracker Con.
I imagine at one point while Thaddeus was staring at you, one of the lizardkin like got up and was like, "Draka, how long have you been standing there?"
How long have you been standing there?
Okay, that was, yeah, and I'm shoehorning quotes in.
I was only standing here for slightly longer than you were.
Oh no, you definitely replied an hour.
You don't get.
Thaddeus has simply mastered the art of moving so slowly that you cannot see him.
It's like Reverse Flash, but not.
So, what are you doing, Hubble? Now that you're the only player in the game.
I'm gonna go find a lizardkin and I'm gonna ask him, where is Thaddeus?
Drokala. Ooh. Actually, he doesn't even understand you. If you're finding a random lizardkin, they're just Grantela.
Fine. Fuck you. I'm gonna go find Crockercon in my solo campaign.
Yeah, which is quite easily done. You head into the temple.
One man D&D.
You head into the temple. Find Crockercon in there. There's a few others, like temple guard, standing around him, and as he sees you, he waves them off.
Grala, Abel. It is ready whenever you are.
I'm ready. It'll just be the Thaddeus that's off. He's got some business to take care of on his own.
That pork did a real number on him, man. He's gonna be there all day. okay.
I mean, what Hobble doesn't realize is that it just ran off with the water. That's what he was actually referring to.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the Ghoul Emperor.
Albo's gonna go through his bags when he gets back to Kingsport. Motherfucker!
Cut to Thaddeus in the woods, just.
What a way.
Albo's gonna get back to Kingsport and find a bottled
Bottled water.
just selling bottles of water that says Thaddeus' spring water. Like, motherfucker!
Like, damn, I didn't believe in the bottled
Copyrighted it and
water.
everything.
First copyright, first patent.
A local favorite.
Oh, that's our next campaign. Hobble has to put a team together to rob Thaddeus.
There's a cartoon crocodile on the bottle, like fucking hawking the water. That's my mascot for my brand.
Okay, so with you ready, you immediately kind of you see there's like a sort of small contingency force, maybe 15 in total. About a third of them these temple guard, the rest all just kind of regular lizardkin. Oquixo is also there. Everyone with their own mounts, which they also equip you with, and
Raka, I bid you farewell then.
Good luck, Leprechaun. I don't know what plans you have for your people, but I'm sure you will lead them in a better path than they have been traveling since, well, my people arrived. I hope to see you again someday.
And I as well, Grantya.
And it gives you a kind of low bow and then steps back as all of the mounts immediately just take off into the forest. Oquixo at the head, leading everyone. With the mounts, you reach the swamp in fairly quick time. You join in with these temple guard and the Saurus as they just eradicate this corrupted life from the swamp. Spearheading this attack, especially with you hurling firebolts and things and just everything. They just sort of trounce through the swamps. You can see as you're moving through it that more and more of it has seemingly become uncorrupted. It's perhaps a fifth of the way through the swamp now. You imagine it's... If you had to guesstimate, you imagine it'll probably be weeks before the swamp is fully recovered, but nevertheless, they clear out a large quantity of this corrupted life and continue on to Akalon. Following you and Oquixo. Moving past, actually first the bodies of Throkan and his large pterodon. And then into the temple. Maneuvering their way.
Do the lizardkin react to Throkan's body at all?
They stop, and some of the temple guard get off, and they inspect it, and it's very similar to what you saw the night prior. Even though Throkan did what he did, there's this just level of respect amongst the lizardkin. You see them do what they can to... They don't burn the body. You're sure that they're going to take it back with them. But they do what they can to kind of honor him briefly before they head into the temple. What you do, they descend the levels of the ziggurat, make their way into the caverns, and as you retrace your steps, there's nothing. It's damp, dark, cold in there. But you make your way back to where the bodies lie, gather them up, and many of the lizardkin sort of just looking into the vast chamber below. You see there's no sign of the body, of Gruthlak's body.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Did I Do I remember? Did it stick around after I killed it? Killed him? Did he
It sort of
immediately-
withered away, but there was still parts of it there. I mean, it was just this very decayed. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much left, but it was there. But now, as you kind of look down into it, there's nothing whatsoever. You're not sure if it's simply further dissolved and whisked away or otherwise.
Can I do an Arcana check and see if there's any of his magic lingering, or if it's as strong as it was originally?
Yeah, by all means. You definitely get this sense of his magic there, but it is waning. It's very subtle. You imagine it's literally just the remnants of whatever corruption had been flowing through this place and outwards. But it's very obviously diminishing.
Cobble looks at the wizard king and says, I swear he was here. You gotta believe me. He's really dead.
They're not in disbelief at all. The fact that he's gone at all, and that the swamp was like it was, that there's nothing in these caverns, they believe you. But nevertheless, they kind of would have brought in these sort of makeshift stretchers, these long shafts of wood with long reeds strewn across them. They lay both Erdeath and Lishiel's body across them and carry them out. As you reach back to the outside world, they put the bodies down. Quixo turns to you.
Dracala, what do we do with them? What's his... It is up to you.
I know neither of them have family in Kingsport. I think if we could find somewhere dry and bury them, I think they would appreciate that. Are Erdeath's, were his weapons near him? I don't remember what you did with your sword. Did you drop it, or did
Somebody
Thaddeus
retrieved it. I'm not
pick
sure
it
who
up?
it was.
Yeah, I
Thaddeus got it?
think Thaddeus grabbed all the weapons that were in the water
Yeah.
and then ran off with them like a little bitch.
Yeah, so you still
Captain
have
of
them.
start his business. So.
Sword. Do I have a sword? Yeah, I mean, I guess I would have had it, but I probably wouldn't have taken it. I'd have just left it with. I mean, Bahabo can't use it though, so I guess I would have taken it. Because it wasn't a Lizard King relic, right?
No, it was the Erdeath swords. The shield had
Oh, shit.
Drokon's
Then
sword.
yeah, no, I would have left it with Hobble to like put with Erdeath when he buries him.
Yeah, and the shield had the trident and
Probably still on the
Drokon's
collar.
sword.
What did you say?
That's probably still in Coddle. He can't carry that. It's way bigger than him.
I was like,
6 feet long.
Your sword is 8 feet long.
6 feet long.
What do you got, Sephiroth?
it's a long sword or a
Yeah, I
great
thought it was
sword?
a short
No,
sword.
long swords are 5 to 6 feet long. Great swords are
Oh,
bigger than people.
Oh, I
Well,
just
that's
assumed it was like
great.
a little short sword, fang type deal. Or, not fang, what was,
Talking about Sting, Frodo's sword.
Sting? Fang was the
Dagger.
thing from last game.
Grala. So perhaps...
He kind of turns towards the temple guard and then just looks down the long path towards the center of Akalon, where it branches out towards all these ziggurats.
Perhaps the center, then.
Yeah, that'll work.
Says something in their language to the temple guard, who run off ahead. And you said Barry, right?
Yeah, very not burn.
Okay, so they immediately, I mean, oh shit, they don't have shovels, but they do what they can, using weapons. Even the mounts just kind of digging the fucking hole like dogs. They manage to get something that's fairly deep, individualized, one for each, and it takes maybe an hour or so. They bring the bodies over, placing them in there, and those gathered sort of just kind of form a ring around it, but keep their distance. And they just sort of wait for anything you want to do.
Hobble's not going to say any words or anything. He'll walk up and say, it was good to know both of you. It's good to fight alongside both of you, and I hope you find peace in the afterlife. Whatever that means for both of you.
Okay. Then they
And
immediately...
I will throw in a little handful of dirt. Let start helping the lizardkin fill in the hole.
Which they do. Doesn't take long as they shovel the dirt back up onto it, creating these small mounds.
Broka. What now then? Where will you go, Broka?
I have to return to Kingsport. There are people there waiting for me, and I have to find a way to get the leadership to listen to me. That the races of Felheim are not as bad as we think they are. At least the lizardkin are allies, or they could be.
Rala, Korakata. Drokan, he says as much. Perhaps I join. To help.
If you're up for it, I would be happy to have you if it's so.
He nods in agreement.
Yes. Yes, to get peace between yours and mine.
Agreed. Shall we use mounts? I don't want to impose if your people need them.
He just kind of waves that off.
It's much faster this way. A show of good faith.
Thank you. Do you know the way back?
Draka, yes, I can reach the border.
And you don't have anything you need to do in McConnell before you leave?
He just shakes his head.
Alright, then let's go.
He mounts up, and the rest of the temple guard kind of split off their own direction once you've passed the swamp. You know Quixo ride off into the sunset towards Kingsport, and I suppose that is where we'll end it, as Hobble and Quixo make their way back to try and find some sort of resolution between these races.
He's like your little lizard Tonto, man.
I gotta find some way to get him into the city. There's no way he's gonna make it.
You're right. I was thinking about that. Y'all just walking in together. Everybody's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm like, shit, I guess I could maybe minor illusion him. I don't know how I'm gonna get him in the front door.
Meanwhile,
Much less to, like, the inn.
Thaddeus is off trying to solo the Ghoul Emperor, I think.
That's where I'm heading.
Cool. So that is our campaign.
Not
As
too bad.
weird and quote fucking filled as that session was.
Yeah, it was over the top, man.
Well, you didn't even get half of what we were saying.
I didn't, but a lot of it was still funny anyway. Just to having said it, it was a funny
I think
quote
it'd
or
be, I think it'd
line
be
or
far
whatever.
funnier to enter a game where you've not told them ahead of time that you're going to do that, and just see how long it takes for someone to understand that you're just using not even Infinity War quotes, just Avenger quotes.
It just
Right,
has to-
right.
Yeah, you'd have to find ways for them to fit that. It'd be good at the start of one, you know? Hi, my name is Hobble. Who are you? Oh, I'm Dark Mist or whatever. Oh, using our made-up names.
That one might be too obvious. I think you got to use the more subtle
Yeah.
ones.
Man, if you had like a photogenic memory or something, you could literally just have every quote in your head, every line, and only speaking like fucking Avengers lines.
No, you just gotta make a
Every
soundboard.
situation.
Just make a soundboard.
Yeah, there you go.
Is it all Avengers, or can we open it up to the entire?
Oh,
MCU?
all Marvel movies, I'd say. There's just too many good quotes across them all. But at any rate, that is Felheim. So, the more important kind of second half is figuring out what we're doing going forward.
I mean, I'm kind of up for whatever.
So as I said, let me stop